I'm here today in front of the school where many of the local kids go, just to illustrate that as parents and grandparents, it's our responsibility to look after the future for these young children. Nobody else is going to do things for us. So if you feel like I do, that change must happen to get anything better than what we've got now, I'd like you to go onto my blog site called Life Centre Stage. It will tell you everything I plan to offer. Hello folks, we've come from the school in Kingswood, now we're in a shopping precinct, and the subject we want to talk about in this film, this documentary, is about the value we get from money and how we can't wait for government policy to catch up on the needs we have for money supply. We're shortly going to leave here now and go to see what a crematorium offers and how value for money comes from the crematorium side. Thank you. To my mind, take money out of life and spend it for a service that gives us no joy whatsoever. It's a very sad occasion, and there are ways we can spend our money differently to have a send-off, but without the cost of the fuel emissions and all the expenses involved in crematorium running. And I now want to illustrate that many people lock their money away instead of actually using it in their life. They lock it away in a funeral plan with a local undertaker. Where undertakers can do the job for you with the same money, but you can boost life all the way through. So I'd like to show you now the next clip that shows you how to boost life with the same money. Thank you. Right, we're here now at a lovely piece of farmland with sheep grazing, and this is exactly the point I want to make, that we can actually, as individuals, choose to have farmland burial like this, so that we can leave the whole world a much better place, somewhere where children can come, learn about animals, help the farmer, and all these things we can have for nothing out of the money we're going to spend anyway. It's a no-brainer. Thank you. I'm just going to check the sheep a minute. Come on, come on, come on then. Come on. Right, this is an example of a much more exciting type of place than a cemetery. Here we've got a place where children can enjoy life more. They can exercise, get fresh air. They can get on with each other. They can learn. So, if we talk further in the project about green burial, I'm sure you'll get the picture about how we can love more and give more from the money we spend on our funerals. Right, behind me you see the sort of scene I want to promote. I want more of this kind of thing. Less cremation, less cemetery, more green spaces for children to enjoy. Are you with me? We can show how love can come into life, can't we? By making the right decision on spending our money better. Thank you. Shops have to put their prices up to meet all the debt in the chain, in the supply chain. You know, when you and I make things, there's a cost of debt, and it's got to be in the prices. So basically, what I'm aiming to do for you and for everybody else is to try and stop prices rising so much. Let's go somewhere else and I'll show you a bit more. Here we are at a local bank in Bristol. Not like the Bank of Dave in Burnley, which is a savings and loan scheme. But banks, generally speaking, are there to raise us debt. They don't actually lend us money. There is no money. They create a debt which we have to take on. And eventually we pay money, actual money, back to them. So it's not the way we expect it to be. Banks don't lend money out, they receive our money. And unfortunately, as I said at the shop, that puts all of our prices up. So things have to change. I'll tell you a bit more later. Thank you. We're here now in Bristol, Corn Street. These are the nails that people used to trade on. If we change the way we use our money and use local currency, or money that we lend to each other, peer-to-peer lending, will largely remove the debt-created situation with our spending. Things will be cheaper and lives will improve. We come to another location. This is an estate agent. Their job is either to number us with expenditure by renting a property or by stitching us up, in inverted commas, with a huge mortgage, which is a debt liability. And if we fail, as thousands do at the moment, we can lose all of our capital and be kicked out on the street. We've lost our house. But estate agents and other financial institutions very rarely lose money. So we're just a pawn in the system that creates debt, and we take the can if it goes wrong. We'll go to the next location and see what you think. Thank you. It's critical that we all get the economy to start acting and behaving the way we need it. If we need money, we need it at a sensible rate. We don't want to go paying extortionate rates to high street money lenders and these sort of people that knock on the door and say, come on missus, where's the money you owe? It's got to stop. We can't do it anymore. It's not fair to children of the future. I'll see ya. Bye bye. We're outside a phone box. Typical phone box that people might use for desperate phone calls. You know, the sort of thing, phoning for the Samaritans or people that are really on the edge. What we don't want to do is have any more people coming in to make suicide calls and the like. Here's the nub of it. This site behind me is positive. It's exuding life. It's no dead place. So this sort of scene, this sort of facility, much like the farmland, can actually put things into life instead of take away from the value of our spending. Do you see the point I'm making? Right folks, are you getting the picture now? If we're going to improve life, what we've got to do is decide how we're going to spend our money better, and we've got to think more about how the children can benefit and include green burial at the local farm so we can get food prices down, we can get peer-to-peer lending going between us, and we can actually start to improve life. Thank you. In cemeteries, largely the money is spent, as I said earlier, on nothing but death, and the location I'm in now, to me, offers nothing that would be cheerful. It's a sad location. I think you will agree with me. You won't see children here playing or making dens or learning anything. It's just money, thousands of pounds, millions of pounds over the years, just poured down the drain. And I'm just wondering whether you might agree with me that we can change things to use a much better approach to spending our money. Thank you very much. Okay, right, it's decision time. How are we going to make life more satisfying? Are we going to decide to take on board the fact that we can actually get more for our money? Are we all going to decide that we can get more, especially from our funeral spending? Green burials, farmland, children playing and happy. Are we going to go for it? Come on, let's go.